Okay. All right, so let's start in a seated posture, and we're just gonna warm up our diaphragm and warm up the breath. And also, this breath of fire is a Kundalini warm up that I just love it. It's also really good for kind of cleaning out those cobwebs in our brain and kind of clearing our brains as well. So it starts, we take your arms up high, maybe about a 45-degree angle or wherever is comfortable for you. And then just take your knuckles of your 4 fingers and pull those in. But I also have, like, you can see here, like an open hand. And then my thumbs point up to the sky, kind of like Fonzie, like, hey, you know. So making these antennae is what they kind of describe it in Kundalini. And it's an even inhale, even exhale through the nostrils. It's very rhythmic. You'll get it as soon as I start. So just join along when it starts to feel right for you. And if it feels right too, you can close your eyes and we'll begin. Good. Take a big deep breath in, hold the breath. Let the thumbs touch overhead, let the fingertips reach up to the sky. Keep holding the breath, pulling up through the perineum. Keep holding, keep pulling. And relax your jaw and your eyes. And then on the next exhale, slowly let the arms fall down to the lap, fall back into your natural rhythm of breath. And take a moment here for your centering. Observe where you are in this moment. And setting that intention or reminder today with each breath, with each moment of awareness. A little sankalpa. In this moment, I am well. In this moment, I am safe. Notice that you're breathing. Become aware of your rib cage and how it feels in the expansion of the inhalation and the contraction of the exhalation. And take the hands to heart center in prayer. Take a moment to bow your head to honor your heart, honor your innate wisdom, your body wisdom, your spirit's wisdom. And know that you have all that you need for this journey. Now let the hands fall and slowly begin to bring your gaze back into the space. Nice. Good job. Okay. So from here, we're gonna come up onto our knees, and you can take your arms out in front of you. I'm just gonna do a quick reminder of shoulders and shoulder blades and how they work. And here you should make some strong fists. You don't have to take your fingertips to the sky, but making strong fists, palms pointing towards one another. You're gonna press away so you find a little roundedness in the upper back, little protraction. And then imagine you could suck or pull your upper arms back into your shoulder sockets for retraction. So we're gonna do a few protraction and a retraction. Inhaling, protract. Exhale, retract. And it looks like this from behind. And a few more movements on your own with your breath. Good. And then the other thing here, you can go ahead and let that go. The other thing here is we're gonna practice a little bird's ring where I could see you and you could see me. So you're gonna take your arms out to the side. They're out a little bit far, kind of like about a 45-degree angle out in front of you. And root down through the knees, lift up through the crown. And then imagine you pull your elbows in towards your ribs. Right? They'll feel a little sticky and stuck. And then like you're holding 2 pizzas on each hand, let your thumbs try to hitchhike back behind you a bit until you start to become aware of the muscles in the upper back. And breathe. So if you happen to be working from home and on your computer and sitting a lot, this is a nice way to kind of undo that computer slump. And then go ahead and release and let that go. Nice work. Okay, so we're going to grab our gorgeous ball here. If you don't have a gorgeous ball, you can use either a black or even a folded up blanket, maybe a little bit more folded than this, for your ball, if you will. And you guys all know what we're doing here, so you're just going to come onto your backs and pick up your hips and place the ball right underneath your pelvis. So go ahead and do that. Lay down on your back, place the ball underneath your pelvis, and knees are bent here. Take a breath or 2 in, and just take a moment to let your body kind of sink in around the ball. And then right here, take your fingers to your hips, your hip bones, and you know where they are. And do a little tuck and tilt of your tailbone. And as you tuck and tilt your tailbone, imagine there's a string kind of pulling the pubic bone up towards the rib cage with each tuck. And it's kind of elasticizing itself long with each tilt. So you have a little kind of core contraction here, a little tubular core as you tuck and tilt. And starting to become aware of those muscles. Good, then go ahead and relax, take it back to center and give yourself that little hip swish from side to side. It's kind of warming up the low back and the thoracolumbar fascia. Good, take it back to center and take your hands down to the ground and take the legs up to the sky. Let's come into a 90-degree angle with the knees and maybe even the ankles. And let yourself kind of wibble wobble a little bit and catch your balance, or use those core stabilizing muscles to help try to find your balance. And then, like you were the Tin Man, they just oiled your hips. You're just going to let one hip de-oil so that heel gently touches the ground. And then take it back up. So maybe inhaling, and the heel touches the ground, and then exhale back up. And moving at your own pace. And as you do this, keep your core strong here. Imagine that you had a cummerbund wrapped around your waistline, and it's cinching you in all directions. A few more. If this is feeling easy breezy for you, then what you can do is straighten out your legs and do the same thing with legs straight. A few more. Good, take everything back up to the sky, making sure that the ankles are over the hips. It's okay if the knees are bent, as long as the ankles try to make their way over the hips. And if it's you and you want to try to do no hands and regain that control of the core, you can lift the hands up towards the sky. Noticing every little wobble and bobble, and taking a moment of gratitude for like your body's innate wisdom and finding its balance, right, in all this, even when it's upside down and on a ball. And we have that ability to land on our feet here too, even in this new normal. Take your hands down and your feet back down to the earth. And we're going to take the ball, pick up your hips, and move the ball up a little higher. So now it's in the low back and the curve, your lumbar curve. It should feel pretty comfortable here. And then a little swish side to side. If it's not feeling comfortable, usually that means that the ball needs to go up a little bit higher towards your head. Good, and then take it back to center. You can take both knees into the chest, or even just one. Right, and one hand on the ground if you need it for balance. And then try to do a little swishy swish here and give yourself permission to maybe blunder or fall off of your ball. right? Know that that's okay. That's part of our learning process, and giving yourself permission to fall, to mess up, helps us to grow, right? So when we're growing, when we're learning. Okay, taking it back to center, take the feet back down to the ground. You're gonna pick up the hips up off the ground, take your body back to the earth, and put your ball on your belly. Close your eyes and take a breath here. Good. Now from here, just gonna roll over to your side a little bit. You can push yourself up to a seat, but we're going right back down. The ball now is gonna come up higher. It's gonna come up to about mid-back or a little bit below broad bandish height here. So it's making, you can see here, it's making a nice little prop here, a little pillow. And I'm gonna take the hands back behind my head, root down through the feet. And again, imagine that string pulling up through my pubic bone towards the rib cage. So I have a nice neutral pelvis here. And then inhaling, opening up through the heart. And exhale, rounding up. Just a nice little easy, gentle sit up. Let your head be heavy in your hands. Let your arms support you here. No, for some of us, we'll make it all the way down. Maybe the head will touch, maybe not, and for others, not. And all that depends on your body, where you are in this moment, as well as your ball. Like, what is it that I'm, opening up over? A few more. Last one. Good. So from here, just going to pick up the hips off the ground and then do a little corkscrew action, a little sidewinder, hip to rib, rib to hip. So now we're giving a nice little massage into this mid-back area. Good, just freeing up some space so we have a little more ease of breath. Good, and take it back to center. You can take your bum back down to the ground and then take your elbows underneath your shoulders, right? And you're going to pick yourself up and give yourself a little roll up and down here. So now the ball's rolling down towards the low back and up towards the upper back. Balls also like to eat shirts. And actually it's best to roll, if you can, shirtless. All right, take it back to center. Actually, walk your feet down a little bit. So now the ball is in your upper back. It's like the back heart chakra, if you will, right behind my heart. I have a little elephant on my chest, so it's right behind this elephant. And again, you can take your hips down to the ground if you like, and then inhale, open up through the heart, and exhale, taking it back up. Now this time, as you exhale and take it up, imagine that you had like a grapefruit or something like that underneath your chin, and you're letting your nose try to reach up to the sky each time you rise up. Good. Take it back to center again. I'm going to pick up the hips and we're going to do a little sidewinder again. So now we got the upper back area, space between the shoulder blades, working on the fascial layers here, warming up all the tissue. Good. Take it back to center. You can kind of use an elbow to roll off, take the ball out from underneath you, move it out of the way. And keeping the knees bent, close your eyes, just take a moment to feel the support of Mother Earth. Let your body reacclimate to the solidity of ground. And on the next exhalation, rooting down through the feet. If you know active yogi toes, you can bring that in. And on the exhale, we're going to let the hips rise up high to the sky. We'll take 2 or 3 breaths here in bridge pose. Maybe you can invite in a nourishing breath. And invite that breath all the way up to the collarbones if it will let you. And even honoring wherever the breath will go. And And taking it back down to center again. And take the right knee into the chest, clasp your hands below the right shin, letting the left leg reach up to the sky. And give a little push and pull of the right leg, the one that's bent. Right, pushing into hand, hand into leg. And on the exhale, let the top leg descend. Pause for a moment in a space where you feel things working, but your back feels happy. And then on the next exhale, let the long leg fall all the way to the earth. And then flex the bottom foot there, reach through the heel, reach through the crown of the head like you're trying to get long. And take a few breaths here. Squeezing sits bones. The lower body is very active. Let's see if you can invite the upper body to relax, to soften. On the next exhale, soften the whole body, and we're just going to switch legs. Take the other leg up to the sky, give that push and pull of shin to hand, hand to shin. Engage your core, and on the exhale, take the top leg to where it will let you go, keeping your back still happy and healthy. And you can imagine like a line of energy reaching out through your foot. And on the next exhale, let the leg fall to the earth, flexing that bottom foot, reaching through heel, reaching through crown, connecting to the breath. And relaxing everything once again, taking both knees into your chest, a little rock or sway from side to side. And if it's you, give a little kick or rock and roll to your seat, or roll over to your side and press yourself up to your seat. And we're going to come into table pose. So if you have a blanket, you want to throw it underneath your knees, you can do that. And you can have your feet flipped under or over, or plantar flexed or dorsiflexed. And I root down through my hands and knees, lengthen through the spine. It's coming into a nice, yummy cat and cow because they feel so good. Inhale, let the belly sink and collarbones lift, and then exhale, rounding through spine. I invite you to close your eyes, go inside, and move with your breath. Good, and then taking it back to center once again. If it's you, you can shift yourself back, coming into child's pose. Take a breath here. And pulling yourself back up into table, spreading those fingers nice and wide. We're going to do a little bit of that protraction, retraction. So I'm going to let my heart sink down to the ground. My shoulder blades going to try to touch in the back. And then exhale, press away. So we're going to inhale, everything sinks towards the earth, and then exhale, press away. And then do this a few times. You can move with your own breath. Inhaling, heart sinks, exhaling, pushing into the earth. I don't know if you can see it better from this angle. A few more rounds. Good. Pause in neutral. Give a little extra press of the hands into the earth. And then imagine you could pull your hands towards your knees without going anywhere. So activating the lats and the serratus anterior. And then exhale, relax. All right, we're going to come into half push-up here. So I take my knees together, hug my legs together so I know where my lower half of my body is. And then the arms walk themselves, hands walk themselves out like a hand and a half distance away from where your table would be. And then letting shoulders roll forward. And as I do this, I tuck my tail and squeeze my bum here. I'm going to root down through my hands and find that little hump in the upper back, a little bit of retraction. And then try to pull my hands towards my knees. I'll feel maybe a little shiver and quiver. And then slowly lower down to the earth. However you get there is perfect. Give your hips a little wibble wobble from side to side so your legs may splay out a little here and get comfortable. And then hopefully you have your gorgeous ball still handy. So you're going to grab that gorgeous ball and we're going to place it underneath our ribs, or just on the top of the ribs where the xiphoid process is, that little triangle there. Maybe kind of like just about broadband height there. And hands come onto the earth, elbows underneath shoulders. I'm going to root down through the forearms, a little bit of a plug in through the pelvis into the earth. And then notice your shoulder blades and see if you can snuggle them back towards one another. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. Okay, so this is the vanilla version of the posture, so you're welcome to always come back to this posture if it serves you, okay? We're going to take crocodile. That's hand on hand, forehead on hands. And take a big breath like you could fill up the ball with your breath. Okay, exhale it all out. Good. Now, if it's you, take forehead to floor, hands by shoulders, like you were going to do a traditional cobra or a push-up. Root in through the pelvis. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, like you're a little turtle coming out of your shell here. And then shoulder blades snuggle back and down. And take a breath here. Nice, nourishing breath. And then exhale back down to the earth, coming into crocodile, hand on hand. All right, so we're up leveling this each time. So option here on the next inhale is to come into your cobra, or your sphinx, your cobra, or we're going to come into bird's wing. So choose what works right for you. I'm going to inhale, lift up, let the elbows now come towards the rib cage. Knuckles try to fly away towards the sky. We'll take a couple breaths here. And on the exhale, coming back to crocodile, reconnect to your breath. As if you're filling up that ball with your breath. If you don't have a ball, you can do this with a rolled up blanket. And then we're going to move in and out of the posture. If you're working on Sphinx or Cobra, you can pause there and breathe through it. Or if you like, you can make it a little more dynamic, plugging in through pelvis. Inhale, open up into bird's wing. Exhale to crocodile. Inhale, bird's wing. Exhale, crocodile. One more. Take it back to center. You flip your toes under. Take the forehead to the ground. Take the hands by your shoulders. Take a breath in. Engage your core. And on the exhale, just press yourself up into table. Good. And then you shift it back into child. Take a breath or two here. Then you come up a little bit on the hands, snuggle your knees in nice and close here. And then we're going to come into a few rounds of daisy salute. Right. So the knees together, going to shift it back, hands behind you, forehead on the floor or a block or on a blanket. And inhale, rising all the way up, rooting down through knees, lifting up through pinkies. And then exhale, hitchhiking back behind you all the way down. Inhaling up. Exhale back. Moving at your own pace. Last one, inhale, rise up tall. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Right here, let's take the right leg out in front, just coming into a strong lunge posture. And take that base leg, root it down strong into the ground. Inhale, the arms rise up, reaching up through pinkies, back through thumbs. Come back to the breath. In this moment, I am well. In this moment, I am safe. And take the thumbs, hitchhike them back behind you. Clasp your hands. Inhale, lift through heart. Exhale, knuckles reach back and away. And inhale, reach up to the sky. And then exhale, hands to heart center. I'm going to add a little bit of a kind of a boxing thing here, a little punch to this. So keep rooting down through this base knee and that back foot. And then you take your hands towards your ribs, and we're going to exhale with a ha as we punch. So it'll look like this. Ha, 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 ha. So join on in. Ha, 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 ha. One more on each side. Ha, ha. Good. Take it back to center. Let the arms dangle, and we're just going to switch sides. Take the other leg out in front, rooting down through that base leg, lifting up through crown. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, rooting down through the back leg, inviting in the breath. Knowing all is well in this moment. Hitchhiking the thumbs back behind you. And go ahead and clasp your hands. If you want, you can try to reclasp so you have the uncomfortable pointer finger on top. Inhale, lift through heart. Exhale, knuckles reach back and away. Breathe into the heart center. Inhale, lifting back up to the heavens. Exhale, let the hands fall. And I'll do a little punching on this side. It's getting out any aggravations you may feel, maybe being cooped up. Try to take a breath in. Ha, 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 ha. One more on each side. Ha, ha. Good, and let it go. Awesome. All right, take it back to your seat. Good, and as we're going to do just a little bit of movement, a little bit of breath work just to take ourselves down. As we end, and I end the meeting, please, if you can, just stay put for a few minutes. Let yourself take a mini savasana on your own and really integrate all the beautiful work that you've done for yourself. Okay, so we're going to do this with our head and our eyes. So you're going to use your eyes. We've done this before. You find a nice long spine here, rooting down through sits bones. And then we use our gaze to initiate movement of the neck. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, I use my eyes to take in all that I could see on, for me, the left side of my room. I take it all in, all in. And this might take a few breaths to get to your end range. You pause when you can't go any further. Take a breath in here, hold it. And then let the eyes try to look behind your head like eye yoga. Exhale, relax. The eyes will kind of spring back, and then taking in all that you can see until you find your way back to center. Super slow here, super mindful. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, initiate the observation on the right side of your room. Taking in all that you can see along the way. No judgments on what you see. It's all good. When you've gotten as far as you can, pause, take a breath in, hold it. The eyes try to look behind your head. On the exhale, relax the eyes. And then very slowly bringing your awareness, your gaze, back through the room to center. And close your eyes. And your palms face up in your lap. Take a moment to notice that you're breathing. Take a moment to feel the earth beneath you. And know that in this breath, we are well. In this breath, we are safe. I'm going to add in this breath. We're together. So I invite you to stay where you are. Stay with your breath, even if it's just another minute or two. And say namaste and end our meeting. Love to you all. I hope to see you on Thursday.